Okay. Good morning, millionaires.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
That's right.
Please enter your.
How does that feel?
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. I want to say shouts out to the LinkedIn crew, shouts out to the Facebook crew. Right now, rep your city. What kind of city do you have right now? Appreciate that share, crystal clear. Appreciate that. Toxic people are crazy, man. And at the end of the day, you're gonna keep running into them. So why not figure out an approach that lets you control what you can and eliminate the parts that you can't? That's all we're looking for. A lot of times, these toxic people are just an example of ignorance is bliss. They just walking around completely unaware of the negative impact they having on everybody, right? And then you got these other kind of toxic people that kind of derive satisfaction from creating chaos. They love pushing everybody's buttons. Either way, they create unnecessary complexity. They create strife everywhere they go. And worst of all, they make everything stressful. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because since we're entrepreneurologists around here, what we figured out is that stress can have a lasting effect on the brain. Studies show that exposure to even a couple of days of stress starts to compromise the neurons in your brain, right? This is where you get your reasoning from. This is where you get your memory from. And that's days of stress. You take it up to weeks of stress, millionaires. Now you start to cause reversible, but it's still damage to the dendrites, right? These are the small little arms that the brains use to connect to each other, right? And then months of stress, months start to permanently destroy the neurons in your mind. What I'm saying is stress is a problem. It's a formidable threat to your success. You hear me? When stress gets out of control, your brain starts to suffer. Your performance starts to suffer. And millionaires, most sources of stress when you're talking about work, which is where we spend most of our time outside of the bed, right? Most sources of stress at work are pretty easy for you to identify. If your nonprofit's working to land some grant, right, your organization needs so it can function, you're going to feel some stress, right? But usually you're going to know how to manage that. It's the unexpected kind of stress that comes and knocks your block off, right? It's the unexpected stress that takes you by surprise and starts to harm you a little bit, right? I'm talking about bosses. I'm talking about coworkers. I'm talking about clients, right? Listen to me. Negativity, cruelty, right? Playing a victim all the time, right? Some of them just plain nuts. Huh? Right? All this drives your brain into this stressed out state that you should be avoiding at all costs. They followed like 10,000 people for 12 years. And they found that the people that were in toxic relationships had an increased risk for experiencing heart attack, heart disease, right? Um, um, and when you looked at people that were in healthy relationships, it was the exact opposite. I always see strategies for handling, toxic people when you are hiring them. And so what I wanted to do was go over a few that my therapist gave me. Maybe it'll be helpful for you. A lot of times you need an approach that enables you across the board to be able to deal with these types of fools. Control what you can, eliminate what you can't, right? The important thing for you to remember this morning is you're way more in control than you think. Maybe give me that in the comments and then give me a share. Somebody say you're way more in control than you think. While I get some of these shout outs in the morning, somebody give me that in the comments. You're way more in control than you think. Yeah, good morning, Daryl, Charity. Naraya made it in. You're way more in control than you think. Somebody give it to me. What's up, Crystal? You're way more in control than you think. Come on, Cindy. You're way more in control than you think. Ain't that right, Deborah? Somebody type that in the comments and give it to me. You're way more in control than you think. You're way more in control than you think, Queen. You way more in control. Sister Syph is in the house. Let's get it. You way more in control than you think. You're way more in control than you think. Y'all share that with a couple people. I'll be right back in a second. Yeah, you're way more in control than you think. Today, if you're just now tuning in, what we're covering is 12 different ways that successful people handle the toxic people. The first one that I want to give you, right, that I think you should jot down in your power book, or if you have your vision board coloring book, that's what the note pages are for, right? If you have your 90-day planner, you're really going to appreciate this, because check it out. The first thing that you do to handle these fools is you limit your time and your energy with the people that are constantly complaining. Chronic complainers, y'all, negative people. They're always bad news. 48 Laws of Power says one of their first laws is infection. Avoid the unlucky. Avoid the ones that are constantly whining instead of winning. These people are bad news because they wallow in their problems. They don't even want to focus on those solutions. What they're looking for is people to join their pity party so they can feel better about themselves. People don't do this on purpose. And sometimes when you correct them, you come off seeming kind of harsh, right? But you got to break that up when you see it happening. Right? They want people to join I call it Losers Anonymous. Somebody say, I don't want to be in Losers Anonymous. Losers Anonymous ain't my type of group, right? You know what I mean? If it was Alcoholics Anonymous, everybody goes around a circle, hey, my name is Hazik and I'm an alcoholic. Everybody's like, hey, Hazik. And then you start telling these stories about how you had sold your mom for a vial of crack and all of that, or you know what I mean? It's like, and now everybody, well, you thought that was bad. I sold my own sister. And then somebody else is like, well, I had to sell, crack to buy my own diapers. And they go around and everybody's trying to compare. I'm not making light of actual Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous groups. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's like sometimes that's the crew that people form, whether you're in network marketing, whether you're in entrepreneurship. Somebody know what I'm talking about? People feel pressure to listen to these complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous. They don't want to be seen as rude. But there's a fine line between lending a sympathetic ear and getting sucked into their negative death spiral. You hear what I'm saying to you? Millionaires, the only way you're going to be able to avoid this is by setting limits. Somebody hear me? The only way you're going to be able to avoid this is by distancing yourself when it's necessary. Think about it this way. If this person that's complaining all the time were smoking, would you sit there and inhale secondhand cigarette smoke the whole time? No, you would distance yourself, right? And you should do the same thing with people that complain all the time. A great way to set limits is to ask the complainers how they intend to fix the problem. Next, they're either going to shut up or they're going to redirect the conversation into a productive direction. I'm not trying to be in Losers Anonymous. I'm not trying to be in Losers Anonymous. That ain't the type of group that I want to be in. You feel me, Nakia? You feel me, Shizzy? Check it out, man. Here's the second one I got for you. They pick their battles wisely. Somebody say, I pick my battles wisely. I'm not going to pick every battle, man. Somebody say that. I pick my battles wisely. I pick my battles with toxic people wisely. Let me tell you why. Because successful people know how important it is that they live to fight another day, especially when your foe is toxic. Check it out. Two things going to happen when you start wrestling with a pig. You gonna get dirty and the pig gonna like it. You hear me? I said two things gonna happen. You gonna get dirty and the pig is gonna like it. Check it out. In conflict, you gotta remember, somebody write this in your notes. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Somebody give me that. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Somebody give me that. Give me that. Check it out, millionaires. When you have conflict and all these unchecked emotions, you start to dig in and fight the kind of battle that leaves you damaged. You hear what I'm saying to you? When instead you can read and respond to your emotions. That's why sometimes I give y'all this. Y'all ever seen me talk about this? Right? Y'all ever see me? Y'all ever see? There it is. Y'all ever see me talk about the feeling wheel that my therapist gave me? Where it tells you the root emotion. If somebody wants the feeling wheel, make sure you join the newsletter. Do this. If you want the feeling wheel, then join the newsletter and let me know that you're in the house. Join the newsletter. Let me know you're in the house. I don't know what just happened. I got to call back the live line, y'all. We having so much energy. It just cut off the phone. Which one, Kay? Which comparison? That's exactly right. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Yeah, I don't know what just now happened with the phone line. I'm trying to get it together. Somebody say that and give me a share, y'all. The more you share it, the more the phone line gonna come back on. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Yeah, she is. While we waiting on the phone line to come back on, have y'all ordered y'all's 90-day map yet? You know the new year is about to start. This thing is incredible because it has all these sections in it. We talking about limiting time. Man, time is an incredible thing. And the thing about this 90-day plan is first it starts off with who you are. Then it starts off where you put in your definite mission. If you read Think and Grow Rich, you understand that. Those are your 10 goals for the next 90 days, right? That's exactly right, Doug. That's exactly right. Those are the 10 goals you got for the next 90 days. What we believe is that you should separate your year into 4 90-day periods, 4 90-day periods, right? And so what we are able to do with this is separate it into the 10 things we want to accomplish.
Greatness in you.
Does that make sense, everybody?
Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right.
Please enter your.
Then, hold on.
All participants are muted.
Okay. All right. I think we're back in the house, everybody. That was crazy. All right. Next, the planner lets you list all the characteristics and attributes of your perfect customer, which you got to love that, right? But then it asks you which of these characteristics, you see that? Which of these do you need to work on in your own personality the most? And then it has you list those. Ain't that fly? Ain't that fly? You got to love the ability to kind of do some self-reflection. From there, what the planner takes you through is what we call the $500,000 secret. And I tell you the reason why it's called that. It involves Charles Schwab. If y'all ever heard the name Charles Schwab, that's incredible. And then it teaches you exactly how to use a planner, right? It teaches you exactly how to use a planner. What are your daily habits that'll make you kind of like know success is inevitable instead of failure being inevitable? And then it teaches you to do what we call a time audit, right? Like what time do you wake up? What time do you go back to sleep? What do you do in between? And it lets you put by each activity a P if it's profitable, a L if it's a liability, and an N if it's a neutral activity. We call that a time audit. So you can actually see how much time you're wasting or how much time you're being productive. You know, the founder of IKEA says you should split your day into 10-minute increments and then waste as few of those 10-minute increments as you can. And then from there, it's kind of like a traditional planner, right? You write in the month up there. You always got, you know, some kind of a monthly tip. It's like, here's your savings accomplishment. All of this with old school pen. All of this, I know there's a lot of digital products out there, but ain't nothing like writing with a pen and some paper. You hear what I'm saying to you? So then it's like, pay yourself first. What was your savings accomplishment last month? How much money did you save? And then what's your goal for this month, right? Then, of course, we got the call schedule in there. You got to love that, right? And then, of course, each day there's room for you to write in the 5 activities that you plan to do that day. You know, you can put notes on it. And then the next day, you again write down your 5 highest priorities based around which ones you didn't fix from the day before. There's always a quote in each corner, right, to get you thinking, something you can put on social media. At any rate, we call this our 90-day map, or Millionaire's Action Planner, or Massive Action Planner. Further, faster, with less effort. You can order that on millionaireminded.com. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. And if you join the Kaizen Academy at the pro level this month, then you get that for free. But now's the time to be ordering or getting it cracking so that you have it in time for the holidays. All right, so we were on the third one, y'all. We were on the third one, right? Okay, good. Yeah, Nakia. All you do is go to millionaireminded.com, millionaireminded.com, and it's going to be a game changer for you. All right, y'all, here we go. Check it out. Yeah. Everybody is asking. You just go to millionaireminded.com. I appreciate it, y'all. Order now so that you have them in time for the holidays, or order. And the more you order, you're only paying 1 shipping cost. So if you order one of these and a vision board coloring book, or if you order 2 vision board coloring books and 1 planner, however you decide to do it, you only have to pay 1 shipping fee, because we can usually put it all in 1 package. All right, here we go. Number 3, they don't get sucked into irrational behavior. They don't get sucked into irrational behavior. Y'all with me? Check it out. Toxic people drive you crazy because their behavior is so nuts. Make no mistake about it, millionaires. Behavior, when your emotions are high, it's always going to go against any kind of reason or rationality. So why do you allow yourself to go with emotion and get sucked all in? The more irrational somebody is, the easier it should be for you to remove yourself from their traps. You know, I always describe it like this. If somebody was walking up to you and telling you that your hair was on fire, you would look at them like, are you okay? Why? Because you know your hair ain't on fire. But why do you respond with so much emotion when they say you suck as a leader? Or they say you ain't a bad mother, that you're a bad mother, or whatever it is that these toxic people, you can't achieve your dreams. You'll never be able to sell it for that. You should quit your business, right? It should be easy for you to remove yourself from that if you love yourself. Quit trying to beat them at their own game. You get what I'm saying? Again, it's secondhand cigarette smoke. Distance yourself from them emotionally, right? Approach your interactions with them like it's a science project, right? Like, that was interesting, right? You don't need to respond to their emotional chaos. Only thing you need to be tripping off is the facts. You hear me? Here's the 4th one. Don't let them push your buttons. The reason that I ended up in therapy is because, 1, it's the smart thing to do. But my main issue is that I don't like my buttons being so available for people to push. You got me? I don't like that people can easily push my buttons. I ain't with it. So what does that mean? It means that you need to be able to name those emotions. Again, I'll send you the feeling wheel if you join the email list. If you join the email list, I will send you the feeling wheel. If you already get the emails, then just inbox me, say, send me the feeling wheel, and I'll hook you up. Check it out, y'all. You got to stop letting people push your buttons. Now, a lot of times you can't do that if you don't even recognize it's happening. But sometimes you're going to find yourself in situations where you're going to need to regroup. You're going to need to do some woosah. You're going to need to do some of them breathing exercises we do in the morning, where we inhale 4 and exhale 6, right? You're going to need to be able to choose the best way forward. And this is cool, but you shouldn't be afraid to buy yourself some time to do it. Excuse yourself. Go to the bathroom. Look yourself in the eyes. You got me? Do some of those body language poses that we talk about. Increase your confidence. Like check this out. When you stand like this, what they call a Superman pose, or if you're a lady, Wonder Woman pose, whatever, and you look in the mirror, that does something to you. That starts to change your chemical kind of composition. This will help you regroup. Millionaires. If somebody crazy walks up on the street and starts telling you he's Elvis or he's Michael Jackson or he's John Kennedy, you probably ain't gonna set him straight right then and there. Like, no, you ain't, right? Because you don't want to get stabbed with a spoon or something crazy, right? But when you find yourself with a coworker who's engaged in a similar level of insanity, deranged thinking, listen, sometimes it's best to just smile and nod. You know what I mean? You ain't got to get into the mud with them. If you're going to have to straighten them out one day, it's better that you give yourself some time to plan this out the right way. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Stop letting them push your buttons. Here's the next one. They establish boundaries. Man, I don't know if y'all saw the Facebook post I put up a couple of days ago, but I was basically asking everybody, what's the best book that you read all 2022? Like, what's the best book you read? 2 different people put up a book that then I saw in my business partner's office yesterday. 2 different people put up a book called Find Boundaries, Find Peace. Y'all familiar with this? Establish Boundaries, Find Peace. Anybody read that one? I'm probably butchering the title, but then I went into my business partner's office, like I said, and she had the book and the workbook. I got to check this book out because that's clearly a sign for me. But this is the area where most people start to sell themselves short. They feel like because they work with the person or because they live with the person, they have no way to control the chaos. Nothing could be further from the truth. Do you hear me? Even if you work with somebody super close on your team, that does not mean you need to have the same level of one-on-one interaction with them that you have with other team members. If you know they are toxic, go ahead and get out of there. Hey, Keonda, I don't really remember the exact name of the book, but if you go in my comments on my Facebook page, it looks like you're checking in from Facebook. If you go to my Facebook timeline, which hopefully everybody does and kind of turns on their notifications, I've been meant to say that, please like this. We got dozens and dozens of people on here between LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitter. Please like it. You know what I mean? How we only got 8 likes? That's how y'all do me. But anyway, yeah, if you're on my timeline, you'll see this post that says, what's the best book you read all 2022? And then what you'll see in there is one of these books. It's called Find Boundaries, Find Peace or something like that. So check that out. But here's my point, y'all. Millionaires, to establish a boundary, you're going to have to do so consciously. It's going to have to be a proactive thing. If you let things happen naturally, you're bound to find yourself constantly kind of embroiled in these difficult conversations. But if you set boundaries and you decide when and where you'll engage some difficult person, you can control a lot of chaos. The only trick you got to remember is to stick to your guns. You got to keep your boundaries in place when a person tries to encroach upon them, and they will. They will. Somebody write this in the comments. It's okay to repeat yourself. It's okay to repeat yourself. You hear me? It's okay for you to repeat yourself. You can't go around assuming everybody remembers your boundaries. You can't go around assuming that everybody remembers what you had told them. Sometimes you forget what you told. Sometimes you forget what you told them. So don't you dare judge them for forgetting. You with me? Here's I think we're on number 6. They won't let others limit their joy. They won't let others limit their joy. Right? Hey, appreciate that, P.O. They won't let others limit their joy. When your sense of pleasure or your sense of satisfaction is coming from the opinions of other people, now you're no longer the master of your own happiness. So what does that mean? That means you're a slave. Listen, whenever you go emotional, you've lost. Somebody write that in the comments. Whoever can get the emotional response out the other person, they lost, y'all. They lost. Check it out. Whenever you get emotional, you've lost. That's important. You should write that down. Millionaires, when your sense of pleasure, when your sense of satisfaction is no longer derived from your own activity, you are now a slave to somebody else. When emotionally intelligent people feel good about something they've done, they ain't gonna let somebody else's opinion or somebody else's snide remark take that joy from them. And I get it. It's impossible to turn off your reaction to what other people think of you, right? It's like trying to turn off the fact you like vanilla ice cream as opposed to onion flavored ice cream, right? I mean, it's like this is a natural thing, but you ain't got to compare yourself all the time. Write this down. Comparison is the thief of joy. Jot that down. Comparison is the thief of joy. You can always take people's opinions with a grain of salt. You don't get too high when they give you compliments, and you don't get too low when they talk down on you, right? This is how you avoid that vibe where no matter what toxic people are doing, no matter what the toxic people in your life are thinking, you still good. This is how you avoid that vibe of them being able to drag you down into their hell pit, right? Check it out. Regardless of what other people think of you, one thing's certain: you never as good or as bad as they say you are. You hear me? Somebody write this in the comments. What others think of me is none of my business, and give me a share. What others think of me is none of my business, and then give me a share. Somebody jot that down. What others think of me is none of my business, and then give me a share. Here's another problem. Well, here's another hack for dealing with toxicity. Focus on solutions instead of fixating on the problems. Focus on solutions instead of fixating on the problems. That's right. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's real talk. And what others think of me is none of my business. That's real talk. So here's another way that you deal with them. I think this is way number 7 we just now gave you. Yeah, Digital Daryl's in the house. What others think of me is none of my business. That's exactly right. Here's way number 7. The successful people deal with toxic people. You ready? They focus on solutions instead of fixating on problems. Where you focus, where energy goes, energy grows. Wherever energy goes, energy grows. I don't care if you're focusing on growing this plant, all of a sudden the plant going to grow. You ever heard me say whatever gets measured gets better? You know, this is why you can't be the person who's always riding behind somebody like a police officer, waiting for them to do something wrong so you can pull them over. If that's you, you're the toxic one. You get what I mean? Here's how you fight that. You focus on solution instead of fixating on the problem. The law of polarity makes it simple. If there's a cold, then there's a hot. If there's a hot, then there's a cold. Millionaires, when you focus on solutions instead of fixating on problems, you're now able to respond rather than just react. Y'all with me? When you focus on the actions that better yourself instead of blaming everybody around you, guess what happens week after week? Guess what happens month after month? You keep on getting better. You start to create a sense of personal efficacy, right? That produces positive emotions and reduces stress, because you start to realize no matter what happens, I'm responsible. I love me. So I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it okay. You get what I mean? But not if you're focusing on the problem, not if you fixated on the problem. Tell them, P.O. Tell them, Miss Oliver. Oh, check it out. Where attention goes, energy flows, right? And wherever energy goes, energy grows. That's exactly it. And when it comes to toxic people, y'all, fixating on how crazy they are or how difficult they are, all that does is give them power over you. Quit thinking about how troubling your difficult person is. Stop going around telling everybody how difficult they are. Instead, what you may want to try every now and then is giving them a good reputation to live up to. Start giving people around you a good reputation to live up to. That's dope, Mr. Terry. That's dope, Mr. Terry. And you saw me going through it yesterday in a messenger group. Brothers and sisters don't mean no harm. They don't even know they're being toxic, right? I had to point out. You remember Mr. Terry? And I love the guy. I bet he's going to call me today because, as you saw, I left my phone number in there. But my whole thing is I could tell we were off on the wrong foot because you go to a group, a messenger group with the problem instead of going to leadership, right? You go and then what they do is they try and pull a pity party in, and now we got Losers Anonymous going on. Yeah, it sucks for me too. You know what, y'all? This sucks. You know, let's stop anything that has an opportunity to fix it, and let's make it so our whole life sucks. You know, it's almost like that's what they're saying. But instead of thinking about how difficult these people are, we're going to focus on how to handle it, right? Now you're more in control. Now you're reducing the stress you feel because you feel like you're top of the food chain instead of prey for the predators. Here's the next one I got for you. Here's the next one I got for you. Yeah, we ain't in Losers Anonymous, yo. That ain't what we doing. So check it out. Check it out. Here's what successful people do. Here's the 8th one I got for you. They forgive, but they don't forget, right? Emotionally intelligent people are quick to forgive, but that don't mean they forget. Forgiveness means that you letting go of what happened so you can move on. But it doesn't mean that you're going to give them another chance. It don't mean you're going to go back to what hurt you. It don't mean that you're going to get back in that relationship just because they still cute. You get what I mean? Because successful people are unwilling to get bogged down by other people's mistakes. So they let go. This is how they assert self-love. This is how they protect themselves from future harm. This person got your number. They know exactly how to pull you into the mud. We ain't going there. We're going to forgive, but we ain't going to forget. Here's number 9 I got for you. No more negative self-talk. The successful don't engage in negative self-talk. And I know I'm going over a little bit. Just hang out with me for a couple more minutes, y'all. We almost out of here. But check it out. Sometimes you start to absorb the negativity of other people. Remember yesterday we were talking about how emotions are contagious? Ain't nothing wrong with feeling bad about how somebody's treating you. But your self-talk, the thoughts you have about your feelings, we call that self-talk. Those are the thoughts you have about your feelings. We call that self-talk. Your self-talk can either intensify the negativity or can help you move past it. You got what I'm saying? Negative self-talk is unrealistic. It's unnecessary. It's self-defeating. And it sends you into that death spiral that now it's hard for you to pull up out of. What you should do is avoid that stuff and come do your affirmations with us. Here's another hack for you. I think this is number 10. Check it out. They cut down on caffeine. A lot of people don't know that coffee messing you up because it triggers adrenaline. Adrenaline is where we get that fight or flight response, right? Adrenaline is what makes us kind of stand up and fight or run for the hills, right? When we see a threat. And this fight or flight mechanism, only problem with it is that it's animalistic. It's savage, right? You want to be civilized. That's animalistic. Because what you're doing now is you're leaving out the option for rational response, for rational thinking, for critical thinking skills. And that's cool when a bear is chasing you, but that ain't so cool when you just get surprised by some jerk of a coworker in the hallway. And number 11 is they get enough sleep, right? I know I talk a lot about this. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, it's a badge of honor to not sleep that much, but sleep is what increases your emotional intelligence. Sleep is what manages your stress levels. When you sleep, your brain can recharge, right? Now, when your brain is recharging, it's shuffling through the day's memories, organizing everything, right? Storing them, discarding them. This is what makes dreams happen. You got me? So now you wake up alert. You wake up clear-headed. Your self-control, your attention, your memory are all start to get brought down when you don't get enough sleep, right? Sleep deprivation makes people go crazy. You know, that's a torture method, keeping people awake, right? So instead of you being all frazzled and easily reactive, now somebody touch you and you're ready to break their arm. Now instead, you're positive, you're creative, right? You're proactive. When a toxic person comes, you feel compassion for them instead of frustration. You with me? They got whole sciences on how it makes you sleep better. And here's the last one I got for you. Rely on family and friends, y'all. Rely on family and friends, right? It's tempting, but it's way ineffective to try to deal with everything yourself. You need to recognize your own weaknesses, millionaires. And this means you tap into your support system, right? You need to gain perspective on this challenging person. You need to talk to somebody about what exactly is going on. Everybody got somebody at work or outside of work who's on their team, who's rooting for them. We all got that. We got somebody who's ready to help us when we get into a difficult situation. Identify these people in your life and then lean on them every now, right? Lean on them every now and then. Something as simple as the way humans organize their thoughts is verbally. Fellas, that ain't just the ladies. That ain't just the girls in your life. This is how human beings identify and organize their thoughts. They talk it out. So sometimes something as simple as explaining the situation can bring new perspective. Most of the time, other people can see the whole picture that you can't see because you're stuck in the frame. They ain't as emotionally invested in the situation. So they're going to have some jewels for you. You with me? I hope that's making sense. Last one I got for you is we got to learn and adapt. This is part of that forgive but don't forget thing. No matter what you do, you're going to find yourself tested by these touchy interactions. They're a problem person. They're a problem in their home. They're a problem at work. They're a problem with their kids. Everybody sees it. But here's the question. Are you going to be able to learn and adapt? Are you going to be able to keep calm, do and say the right thing every time? Probably not. But what you can do, thanks to neuroplasticity, thanks to the ability of your brain to mold and change as you practice new behaviors, you can learn when you fail. Matter of fact, that's how you learn. You hear me? You learn from your mistakes. So I hope I gave you some healthy kind of techniques that you can use as you go forward in this life with these crazy people. Matter of fact, if you ain't careful, you'll stop being a crazy person yourself. You get what I'm saying, y'all? You got to train your brain to deal with these kinds of people. And one of the most powerful things you can do is your affirmations. So call in right now. We're going to run through a few of these, and then we're going to get out of here and conquer our day. Was this helpful, y'all? If this was helpful, please give us a like. Please give us a share. You know what I mean? If this was helpful, how helpful was this? Did you get something out of this? I know we went like 5 minutes over. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties with the phone. Was this helpful, y'all? If this was helpful, please give us a like. It costs you nothing. You know, if it was real helpful, then buy a couple 90-day maps. Buy your 90-day map. Get ready for the new year right now. Get ready for the new year right now. Buy your 90-day planner today, right? All right, repeat after me, millionaires. Say it like you mean it. Let's go.